Hey, y'all, welcome back to the second half of Week 2, Team Hotel TV 2015 football. And we're going to go into the next game's predictions. And that first game will be the Eagles versus the Colts. Chris?
Yeah, so I want to declare right now the Eagles are back. I think this is the best I've seen the Eagles look this early in a season ever. Typically, they kind of stink it up for 2 or 3 weeks, and then about fourth, fourth week, they start playing hard. I think Brian looked as good. I think he's improved from last year. So they look solid. This was a good, solid thing. The Colts, they struggle, man. The thing with the Colts is they have incredible talent, and the thing is they got to stop pointing fingers at coaches and other people and start pointing the fingers at themselves and saying, what can I do to make this team better? They start doing that. These guys start taking a look at themselves in the mirror and say, how can we stand up and make this team better? I think this team has what it takes to win some games and even be even to beat a team like the Eagles. But until they can do that, and they can show me that, I think the blowouts continue this week with the Eagles blowing out the Colts 42-6.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the Eagles. If the Eagles can play that well early on in the season, they could be a really scary team later on, especially heading into the playoffs. I think that the Eagles are kind of like the sleeper. I think we don't talk about them much this year. We talk about the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Panthers, and we don't speak a lot about the Eagles. And I think the Eagles are going to blow the Colts out as well. I got them winning 42-18. Wow. I think that the Colts are still trying to gel together as a team. And like Chris was saying, when you stop pointing fingers and stop being a cancer on your team, then you guys might start winning games. But y'all are going to score more points than last week. I gave y'all scoring 18, but it's just not enough against the Eagles' 42 points this week.
Yeah, I think last week I questioned, how the Eagles would do post-Jair. And I think they made a statement. Brian, he came up, he did it on offense and on defense. He had a pick six, and he threw 4 touchdowns, and I believe he ran for one. And now they added some other pieces. They might not be Jalil's, but there's some good receivers. I seen Jeremy out there; he was looking pretty good, and Malik also was doing pretty good on offense. Defense is where I thought they were going to be better. They didn't really pick it up. Teddy was kind of non-existent on offense. I don't know what happened there. You seen a little bit of Jimmy kind of just doing his little catches, but that was it. But I think Jeremy and Malik might be, or Malik might be the guys to really watch this year. Now the Colts, like Chris was saying, the talent is there. You know what I mean? Renee's he's a baller.
He's a beast.
Esky is a baller. He's the guy that they're calling him Odell Beckham. They say he's 14 years old. Wow. He is amazing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think if they can find a way to continue to give him the ball in space, and some of these other guys, I think they can turn it around. I think this game is going to be closer than what you guys are thinking. I think the Colts will find some kind of rhythm in this game. Now, I wish I could say the Colts would come and win. I'm not calling that this week. I'm going to say it's going to be a close game. I think they're going to get some life out of this game just by competing with the Eagles. And I say the Eagles win this one 34-27.
Will anyone fall in this game? With all those players that the Colts got making people fall left and right every other play?
Hey, I'm calling Julius Joker.
Okay, you think Julius fall?
Joker might be victim of the week.
Okay. Might be number 2. Yeah. Last week was Pedro. This week is Joker.
Okay. Those are some great predictions. I want to say something about the Eagles. The Eagles, their defense, they surprised me, and I'm watching Teddy. Teddy's play is very tight. He disguises his coverage, which a lot of people don't see that, and he disguises his coverage. When you think a receiver's open, and Randall found that out a couple of times, he went deep and saw Teddy was able to break back. So people are not sure about his catch-up speed. Now, I think he's on the money, and that's why you're not seeing Teddy play right. And the other thing is I think that they're trying to get the rest of their players, because I agree with you, Leo, when you're saying that we're forgetting about the Eagles. I think they're trying to get those new key players to gel in the Team Hotel. And then when they get all those new key players gelling, they're going to be a powerhouse to deal with. They're going to be a powerhouse to deal with. So let's go to that next game, Packers-Ravens. What do we got here?
I mean, no shock here. Pac-9 wins, and I think they're a solid team this year. I think the Ravens, they also look good this week. But then again, they also played the Saints, so it's hard to know how good they actually are. I mean, when you come and play a new team, sometimes it can look better than it is. But I don't know. I think the Ravens, I like how they're organized practices. I like how they're playing. I think they're solid. But I think this week, this is a wait-and-see game. We're really going to see what the Pack's about. We're really going to be able to see what the Ravens are about and see if they're really in the same league, see if they're really as good as we think they are. I think the Pac-9 has a little too much for the Ravens. I think they're in a different level. I think the Pac-9 wins 34, Ravens 22.
He said he wasn't surprised. I was clearly surprised with the way the Packers came out and beat the Vikings. I need to tip my hat off to Buddy and his coaching staff. I really thought Moses and Shamim and Hector and the rest of those players was going to pull it out and upset. Well, not even upset, just blow out the Packers. And it was clearly the opposite. The Packers ended up upsetting the Vikings, in my opinion. And I think the Pac-9 are a really good team. And I think they're going to go on and beat the Ravens this week, 38-25. I don't think the Ravens was tested at all. And I don't think they should feel themselves either after that win. So I think they're going to have their hands filled this week with the Pac-9 and Shane over there playing unbelievable.
Yeah, I think the Ravens are. They looked amazing, and like I said, it was against the Saints. It was their first game, but the talent is there, and I think the coaching staff is there, and I think the new acquisitions from the Colts players, Stephen and Sharif and his big bully brother over there, really made a difference on that Ravens team and filled some holes that they had kind of created from last year. So I'm impressed with what they did out there. The Packers, Pac-9, we have a quarterback. Okay. Thank God we have a quarterback, Shane.
Yeah.
He came through. Who would have thought it? He came through 5 touchdown passes, and with a slow start, he still remained poised. And that was the key for me was, how he would be able to handle that adversity. And he's proven to me time after time that he can do it now. So that's my man. So now he seems to be having a good relationship with Ryan and Frank, and he seems to spread the ball really well. Frank is an amazing guy. He had an amazing game this last week. He had 4 touchdown passes. Him and Shane were just clicking. They were on all cylinders. And defensively, I thought we did good. We had 3 interceptions, but I think that we can kind of pick that up. I think Matt is doing a great job. Jock might be number 1, but I think Matt might be number 2, like his ranking, rushing the quarterback. You know what I mean? He puts pressure. He doesn't always grab him, but he's right there all the time, putting that constant pressure. And I'm really excited. So I got the Packers. I think it's going to be a close game. I think these are 2 elite teams. But now, with us beating the Vikings, there are expectations for us to beat the Ravens. And I got us pulling out a close one. I think it can go either way, but I got us winning 26-25.
I'm impressed. Last week, you said you weren't impressed with the Ravens and they weren't that good, so I thought you would have picked a blowout score in that game.
No, they definitely got my attention. I'm not taking them lightly.
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. I watched the Ravens second half of the game. I think they're overrated. I think that they were playing a team that's new in the league. They had a 2 that is now leading the league in sacks, and I don't think he's
Don't underrate Tim. Don't underrate Tiny Tim.
He's good.
He's a monster.
He's good. But when you got a 13 or 14-year-old at quarterback and you're trying to get away from him, and you're 16, 17, the talent level and the speed, the thinking is a little different. And like I said, I watched the second half of that game. Yeah, he was beasting, but he was beasting against a 13 or 14-year-old kid.
But he's 13 or 14, or at least the height of a 13, 14.
He might beast this week too. Shane can't move, so Shane better get the ball out quick.
Shane's smarter though.
I think Shane's a smarter quarterback. He's able to hit his check down. Yeah. The Saints quarterback is still he's a work in progress. He's a work in progress.
But don't take anything away from him.
I'm not taking anything away from him.
To let you know, I got his back.
I'm not taking. Well, what does that mean?
You would figure that he would defend the little people.
Right.
Hey, look, I defend talent, and when I see talent, like in the Polo League, I don't see talent on the West Virginia linebackers. Let's go ahead to the next game, the Vikings Seahawks.
All right, I think
take that away.
For your money's worth, I think this is going to be the best game of the week. I think the Vikings are going to regroup. I think they had a hard loss. But the Seahawks, I'm telling you, they are the real deal. They're number 1 in defense this year, and I guarantee they're going to be in the top 3 of the defense throughout the season. I think they have what it takes. The coaching staff knows how to coach defense, and I think it's going to carry them through a lot. I think they're the real deal. I don't think the Vikings look very strong, and they're typically a team, too, that gets kind of off to a rough start and then finds a way to win later on in the season. I think that this game, I think the Seahawks are going to prove themselves to be a legit contender, and I think they're going to beat the Vikings 19-13. But it will actually be a good game to watch and won't be a blowout. But they're here. They're a real deal.
I'm really impressed as well with the Seahawks, and I'm going to give respect to the Seahawks, their little coaching staff, and Chisholm as well. They play really well, and I didn't expect that at all.
Why'd you say little coaching staff?
I said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, small. The tiny little guy. Your family. So let me get back to this. So Yeah, I think Ruben did a really good job. I think, like I said earlier, we need to criticize him and his team a lot more so they can play. I know they run the ball a lot. They got this new kid I ain't never seen him during the preseason or when they scrimmaged us. He was just running all over the Cardinals. And I think that if they can balance out that run game with the passing game and get their twin towers involved, I think they'll be really dangerous because they were missing Zai, and I heard Zai will be playing this week. So the fact that Chisholm and Zai will be there, and with that run game, I think that'll be a little too much for the Vikings,
Man,
especially
if they would have
since
kept Charles, they would have had 3 tall guys.
3 tall guys.
That was
Right.
crazy. I don't know why they released him to the Colts.
I don't
Makes
know why.
no sense.
Make no sense. It
Why,
must have been.
the key is, why did Charles leave?
I don't know. He
that's
said he
the
wanted to play with his
question right
cousin.
I
or
heard he was
something.
released. He
That's
didn't
it.
leave. He was released. So
I heard he might have left.
I know he was released.
Yeah.
Okay.
Released,
So
okay.
yeah, and I don't think Moses been practicing like Buddy said. He's been focused on handball. We just drove by and saw him at the handball court, right?
We really
So,
just did.
I mean,
yeah.
he needs to stop that and
Hey, that's what
focus
he
on
does to
football.
digress from a loss. That's what he does to digress.
That's why his
from a
arm
loss.
was sore. He was
Yeah, you
missing
stop playing
passes.
handball. Focus on your team and get it together. Shamin, keep your comment cool and don't get kicked out again. We need you this week. Otherwise, the Seahawks will blow you guys out. But they'll win in this one in a little close game, 27-19.
Yeah, the Seahawks. I know Leo talked about their defense and how that cover
3.
3 wouldn't work,
Weird.
and it worked this week against
Yeah.
the Cardinals. Kind of stifled them, and I think that's where they did their best was on defense this last week. Their offense, that running game, sure, I think it can be successful at times, but I think it has to evolve. If it stays the same, I don't think I think they got to pick it up. Yeah, they
Need
got to
some
pick it up.
balance.
When you have a receiver like Kadir, he needs to be getting at least 7 to 10 attempts at catches.
Touches, yeah.
I think he had 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. That's not enough.
Not enough.
Now maybe they were waiting to unleash him. I don't know.
What they-
Or maybe they don't have confidence in their little quarterback to throw. Little Mikey over there. I don't know. I think Mikey has the talent though.
yeah.
But yeah, the Vikings, I think they're missing leadership on the field. They're not missing skill. Shamin is one of the best receivers in the league, and you got Moses still one of the best quarterbacks
And handball
in the
players.
league. Probably. I think that's what it is. He needs to focus. The addition of Nazir, who had a big touchdown catch against us, and the emergence of Adarius, who was really playing, also had a touchdown against us. They have the tools and what it takes to go. I'm putting it on the captains. Where are the captains at on the Vikings? They're the ones that are going to have to turn shit. They're going to have to keep their cool. And it's not always going to be an easy game. And maybe they're expecting an easy game from the Packers, but I think they know that they're going into this game. It's going to be a tough game. And I got the Vikings pulling it out. I think their coaching staff is just superior to that of the Seahawks. I have no respect for the Seahawks coaching staff. I think they just have talent over there. And I got them winning this game 29-21.
Wow.
Crazy.
Hey, you talked about that cover 3 defense that
Yeah.
the Seahawks do. They went up against a Cardinal team, and I think Jesse was trying to make a statement by saying that the quarterback of the Cardinals was not the top tier quarterback that he is by playing this defense. They were trying to test him. But I don't think that the Seahawks cover 3 defense is going to match up against top elite teams. When they get down into the grind of the season, we're going to see how tough that safety is now. Because I think he's a little soft. If you throw some big ballers going up there, bangers up against him with the ball, you're going to see him come down a little timid.
You talking about guys going up with Chisholm?
Yeah, I think he's a little soft.
I don't know if Chisholm's soft.
I think he's a little soft. I think he's a little soft.
Dunk on you.
I think he's a little soft.
Ask Brian. Ask Brian.
Brian about getting dunked on.
Basketball and football is 2 different sports.
You're right.
2 different sports. And I think he's a
I'm
little
just
soft
saying
when
he
it comes
gets
to
up. That's
football
all I'm
because he's not
saying.
going for a rebound. He might get his body hit and twisted a little bit. So I think he's a little soft. So we'll see. Well,
I think this is going to be some interesting games this week,
Definitely,
for
definitely.
sure. And I think we're going to see where kind of people stand. And what do you think about him, Eric?
who?
These nuts! Got him! Got him! Well, let's stay focused here, guys. I think that breaks it down for us in this week's games. And we look forward to having you guys out there. We're here having fun. Love you guys.
And looking at Buddy's tiny nuts.
They taste good, though. All right, guys. So have a good week, and we'll see you guys out there. Be ready for our week 3 games.